Hello. Cingulata under my shoe. No, where's it go? I'm making a late afternoon visit to Three Ponds Park, and straight away I've found one of my target species, and then I lost it. Let's try and move this. There. This is Scolopendra cingulata, way more impressive than any of the centipedes we have back home in the UK. Super happy to find this. So there's my finger for reference. I thought I'd find a lot more of these on this trip, and unfortunately this was the only one. I am back. Slightly cooler today, 28 degrees. I'm going to have a quick look at this, which is the middle pond. It looks so dry, there's probably no point. Alright, if I don't look, I'll never know. This grass and these pine needles, it's almost like snow, so slippery. You can see by the rushes that is a pond at some point in the year. No sign of water right now. Yeah, dry all the way round. Still have a little look though. I'm going down to the third pond. I don't think there's much point here. Earlier in the year, spring, when this is wet, I imagine it's very productive, but now too dry. There are so many great butterfly species here. I could do a whole video of them if I knew what they all were. Swallow-tailed, fritillaries, and as was the case when I first visited this location, tree greylings. Amazing dead wood. There is a food cache. I wonder if that's wood mice. There's one small mammal that I would love to see that there is a good few of in Croatia, and that is the dormouse. We have water. Lots of paper wasps going down to use it. Let's have a look and see what we can see. Goldfish. Come all this way hoping to find some interesting native species, and what do I find? Goldfish. Looks like an old cattle trough down here. Well, it's looking like this is just going to be a very boring video of me poking around and not finding much at all. What's that buzzing around me? Oh, it's a rose chaffer. Hello. Just as I said this would be a boring video of me not finding anything, this guy landed on me. Okay mate, I need to get on. I've only got about an hour and a half before I need to be back for dinner. And a good chunk of that will be the walk home. Oh. Lots of wood lice. Let's put this down carefully without squishing them. What is that? That's a skull. Anyone's got any ideas what that is? And more importantly, what animal it's from? Could be domestic. Let me know. A bit disappointing. I'll head up into the park and see if I can get a few more grasshopper close-ups and try to catch a couple of the bigger species on camera. This is one of the huge grasshoppers or cricket or locust that I saw the other day. It went down in here somewhere, but I don't see where. There it goes. Back at this spot. Nothing new. Spider friends still there. Lots of paper wasps again. This is an Krka, cone-headed grasshopper. Funny looking things. see if I can get it in hand. Well, I didn't get it in hand, but it jumped onto my hand. And off it goes.
I'm not 100% sure about this one. I think it's Caloptamus italicus.
Small compared to some of the other species around, but still a good looker. Watch it jump.
I did briefly head up to the top pond. There wasn't a whole lot to see up there, but this radiated wolf spider made it worth the extra few steps. Another cone-headed grasshopper, so well camouflaged.
Cool species. Bit of info about the trees here. This place is well worth a visit. Just bear in mind, in the middle of July, it is hot.
This is Adelis decorus, the appropriately named handsome cross grasshopper. Here's one of the larger species that I've been trying to get up close to for quite some time. It's a white-faced bush cricket, sometimes known as a wart biter. Great to get slightly closer and finally get a reasonable shot of one on camera before it disappears. I then crept up on what I thought was another grasshopper, but realised just as it disappeared that it was in fact an antlion. And at that point this species became the next target for me to get a decent shot of.
Another. Oh, it's a mantis. It's a tiny little mantis. Yes, I thought it was a cone-headed grasshopper. Calm little guy, let me please get you onto my hand. Please, please, please. I won't hurt you, I promise. Oh, and it jumps onto my hand.
This is Amelis decolor, the Mediterranean dwarf mantis.
You pretty little thing.
And as the name suggests, it's one of the smaller mantis species. Still nice to see.
And it jumped. I was going to try and get some shots with the camera, but it went. And I do need to get a move on. It was a tiddler anyway. If it had been a larger one, I would have persevered.
Nice sunset shot of a ferry leaving the island. That is a route that we will be taking very early tomorrow morning on our way to Krka National Park, which should provide us with our best chance of seeing a snake on this holiday. After a 6 AM wake up, a ferry to the mainland, and then just over an hour on the bus, we find ourselves at Krka. When I knew we were going to Croatia, Krka was one of the first places I researched. I was super keen to visit here. There are 3 negative things, and I use the word negative in inverted commas, that are repeated about this place online. The first being that the entry fee is expensive. This is true, but if that money's spent to maintain the habitat here, fine, I'm happy to pay for it. The second being that it is very crowded. So many tourists visit daily in the high season, and yes, I'm very much aware that we add to those numbers. My aim of this video is to focus on the wildlife, not the people, so I've done my best to not film the crowds. And finally, quite a few people seem to be upset that wild swimming is now restricted in most of the reserve. There are still some places where you can swim, but it's been very much limited with wildlife in mind, and surely that can only be a good thing. In hindsight, I'm kicking myself for not getting a few more beauty shots of the waterfalls, but I was very much focused on hopefully filming a couple of amphibian and 1 reptile species, the easiest of which didn't take long to find, a marsh frog, and we got to see a good few more not long after. Not a species that was on my wish list, but nice to see a green-eyed hooktail. Unfortunately, the second amphibian that I'd set my sights on, the European tree frog, was so close, but we didn't get to see it. We heard it on at least 3 occasions, but for now, it remains a target for another time. We then got to see my main target for the day, a species that I was very much hoping to find at Krka, a grass snake. And these grass snakes are a little different to the ones that I see back home in the UK. We saw a good few more marsh frogs, including this absolute beauty. A few years ago, these would have been classed as Natrix persa, sometimes known as the Balkan or striped grass snake. But as of recently, persa has been declared an inactive taxon, with this subspecies no longer being recognised. They're now classed as Natrix in line with pretty much all grass snakes east of the River Rhine in Germany. Unlike Natrix helvetica, the barred grass snake that we see back home in England. But I will say these grass snakes look very, very different to the ones that I found in Germany, east of the Rhine, as a kid. That said, of course I appreciate that snakes with such a wide range are likely to have regional colour morphs.